Hello and welcome to the very humble beginning of whatever this channel has turned into by the time you get around to watching this video. I thought that what I wanted to do for this first video of the channel was to take an inventory of my life as it stands today, right now, today, as I'm starting the channel, financially, physically, socially, so that you could get an idea of where this guy started with. And it's nothing fancy. You know, I really wanted to emphasize in particular my equipment. So for example, this lavalier mic that I'm using right now, this cost me about $20 online. I'm using a tripod that cost me maybe $25, or maybe it was the other way around. And then I'm using my mobile phone to record this. This is a Galaxy S7 in February of 2020. That's like 3 or 4 generations behind. So I'm not using anything fancy. I'm not rich by any means. And, you know, I thought that that would be a really cool video to make, and then you could reference that in the future, and that wouldn't be me in the future telling you this is where I came from. You could just see the video and say, hey, you know, this is him right now. But, you know, I tried to make that video, and unfortunately it turned out to be like half an hour long, and I couldn't do that to you, and I wouldn't, you know, if I had been served that video from some other guy, I wouldn't want to watch it, and I don't blame you for not wanting to do that either. So instead I decided to just trash that video, and what we're going to do in this video is instead give you a simple, you know, I'm going to take a deep breath, take a deep breath and give you a simple plan that I have for the type of content I expect to make for the channel in the coming months and years, and a couple of goals that I have for the channel in 2020. But aside from that, we're just going to keep it very short and sweet and simple, and you know, we'll go from there. But you know what, before we get into it, I'm going to go get a haircut. All right, I am back with my wonderful haircut, as you can see, and I just feel so much better. So if you couldn't tell by the name of the channel, my name is Xander. Hello, it's a delight to meet you. As far as content types go for this channel, or content type, I guess I'm just gonna have to say, we'll see. The whole reason that I decided to produce videos under the name Xander Crofts and not try to come up with some sort of particular or fancy brand name is because I didn't want to narrow myself down to a particular niche. You know, as much as it's recommended that you do that, I didn't want to become like, you know, I didn't want to pick one of the 3 pillars of a healthy life, for example, physical, financial, or social, pick one of those and then become the expert in some sort of particular niche within that. You know what I mean? Another way to look at that is I didn't want to pick logical or emotional way of understanding things, practical versus spiritual, how-to versus poetic, you know what I mean? So I love all of it. I really appreciate all of it. I might kind of lean towards some more than others because of like maybe my comfort zone, or it just kind of comes more naturally to me to understand it. But I value and I appreciate the other sides of it as just as much, if not more, during particular times, and, you know, when it comes to certain things that I want to try to understand. If that doesn't make sense, don't worry about it. I didn't want to narrow myself down to one particular niche, and so what I'm doing here is I'm just using my name so that I can produce kind of at will, and it will just be kind of my fun experiment where you can share with me in learning about whatever it is that Xander ends up becoming, you know, because right now at this stage of my life, I'm 23, I still don't know what I want, I still don't know who I am. And I definitely don't know what I, with certainty, want to commit to as far as producing and teaching and sharing and, you know, whatever. So it's all going to be an experiment, and you'll be on this journey with me if you're so inclined, and we're going to figure it out together. But until then, we'll see. But with all that said, there are a couple of concrete goals that I would like to share with you here before I wrap up, or I guess as I wrap up, because I really don't have anything else for you. The first is that I want to produce videos for you guys, produce and publish videos for you guys every single week, starting with this video being published every Saturday. That's what my goal is. I'm going to hold that goal, hold myself to that expectation for at least the whole year. I know that's pretty lofty since we're still pretty early in the year, but that's my goal, you know, and I think it's very doable because I have no real, like, you know, I'm not saying it has to be of a particular quality, or each video has to follow a particular structure. It's just one video per week, every Saturday. That's it, you know, very simple. And that way I can start to kind of get the ball rolling with this channel, you know, get myself out of my comfort zone and start rolling with it. And then the second goal is a lot more, you know, versus that first one, which is like a perpetual goal. I just want to uphold it as long as I can, 2020 at minimum. This one is a particular goal for 2020, and that is 100 subscribers. I think that would be so incredible. And at the 100 mark, you know, there's just something about that number where I feel like if I got that amount of subscribers, I wouldn't turn back. I wouldn't ever stop YouTubing, or if I did, then I would maybe like leverage it up into a different YouTube channel or leverage it into like some blog or something like that. I just feel like if I had 100 subscribers, that would prove to myself, I would have proved to myself that it's worth doing, or it's possible, or whatever. I don't know. It's just something about that number. There's psychological significance. So that's it, guys. I have nothing more for you. I really appreciate you sticking around with me. I will see you next week.